into their next half of their career. But it is the OKN senior category that is coming out next. Final 17 laps, 20. But we'll be joined by a fellow competitor in the standings in the early stage of the season, but later on did drop down. There, Luna Flusha cannot be beaten. She is clear by a big chunk of points, but the fight for second, oh, that's very much on. Hugo Heron of France and Marcus Schilkunis, 10 points between them to determine who will stand on that podium in the championship standings. That is where it falls down to. Philippe Carras, Maximum Rafalek, George Nassar, Gazi Motlaka, Jean Carras, Austin Gale, Franciszek Zielinski. They round out the next. Another one is Austin Gale. He'll be starting on row number 3. Now, we've just witnessed his younger brother, Toby Gale, also of Thailand, go from effectively the back of the grid in time qualifying all the way through to finish in the top 3 in the final. What can this young man here do? Austin Gale, there's his results, 6th, 5th and 4th. He's consistently got faster. He starts this final in P5 on the inside row. Let's see what he can do. Before their formation starts, there is the green flag. And here we go then. It's final time. It's upon us. The end of a season. The end of an era for some of these drivers as they step up into the world of more. What can they do from here? Well, let's take you through that full starting lineup ahead of this 17-lap race. It's Luna Flusha on pole position. Marcus Schilkunis joins alongside Hugo Heron and Hamza Al-Fayez on row 2. They'll have Austin Gale and Daniel Kelleher on row 3. Jean Carras and Philippe Carras round out the all-Carras row number 4. He'll be joined by Gazi Motlaka and Mohamed Menemni. Like we're saying, the final winner from Dubai, joining Gazi Motlaka of Mozambique, who has determined to push through this field and claim a final win. Maximum Rafalek is joined by Sky Parker. Sky Parker from Wales, representing the United Kingdom. Her first time here at the Alphasan Circuit has just consistently got faster and faster. Adam Sador and Alessandro Biggi, they go from row number 7. They are joined by Sara Matsoi, one of the junior drivers this season who started that one, stepped up into the seniors, so she's not in a title fight. But she is certainly a very quick driver because she put it on pole position in a lane. Charles Lambert joining her alongside Franciszek Zielinski and Sebastian Corpain go from row 9. They'll have Gianna Pascal and Isaac Say on row 10. Sophia Sanfari and Louis Hartmann on row 11. They'll have Julian Pope and Charlotte Page on row 12. Anastasia Genesis and Izaveta Kozlova go from row 3. They'll have Prex Trevino and Yana Kapoor on row 14. Rayan Caruz and will be on the back of the grid all by himself. There is no Cole Hewitson from South Africa joining him alongside, and big shame to see, but the field is now set. Everyone heading into the final sector now. The sun beginning to set here at the Alphasan International Sports Resort. It's been a beautiful day. Air temperature is up, crystal clear blue skies for each and every one of the drivers, teams, mechanics, and of course, the spectators here at the circuit. Senior final coming up next as the drivers get themselves lined up. Now, they've really backed it up here now. It's risky to do here because it's very easy to bog down, stall these carts. But they've done what they've needed to do. We're into the tram lines. Are we going racing? Lights are out. We are away. And it's a good start for the front 2 rows here. But round the outside, is it going to be a whole shot here for Marcus Schilkunis? Can he carry it all the way around the outside? Hamza Al-Fayez spins. And he takes out a couple more with him. Out of the race goes Hugo Heron, fighting for the championship at the standings. Second in the standings for Hugo Heron. He is out of it. Marcus Schilkunis, if he's still in this race, or was he involved in that incident as well? If he's still going, he'll be fine. But there you can see disaster for Hugo Heron. The Frenchman is out of the title fight. He will, well, hopefully still get third. But if Schilkunis is still in this race, which I believe he is, he will step up now into second in the standings. Here they come then, out of the third sector, in towards the final corner, down the inside, moves happening thick and fast there. You can see the 2-1-3 sending it down the inside. A brilliant start there from Maximilian Rafalek. He's already up well into this order, into P3. So Marcus Schilkunis is still in this race. He's so far ahead, I didn't even see him And with that, he would take second in the title standings, clear by about 31 points from Hugo Heron. So a big, big change in the order there. Ghazi Motlaka as well. He's also doing good. He stepped up past George Nassar, but I don't believe George Nassar is here this weekend, which is a big shame to see. But he stepped up now in those championship standings. But eyes on this one here as well. Big sense down the inside from Carus. Jean Carus now stepping up the order. This is a much better run for Jean Carus after a very tough day yesterday. Sebastian Corpeng has had a brilliant start in this one. 11 places gained for Sebastian Corpeng. The same for Elizaveta Kozlova. Also 11 positions gained. Now, Philippe Carus didn't have a good start. He was caught out in that lap 1, turn 1 incident, and he has dropped down the order. The same for Daniel Kelleher. He's also tumbled down the order. The same as Sadamat Soy. Unfortunately, so many drivers got caught out in that lap 1, turn 2 incident. And that is a huge, huge shame. But the eyes on the front now. That's opened up the field just that little bit more. Shilkunis is clear in the race lead. Luna Flusha, though, I can imagine is going to want to hunt down another final win here. And let's see what happens, because the gap currently was 1.4 when they last crossed the start-finish line. And it was the fastest lap of the race for Luna Flusha on that lap. Let's find out what the new gap's going to be when they next cross the start-finish line, as we keep an eye on Maximin Rafalik and Ghazi Motlaka, who said he was going to fight up to that podium, see if he can close in. Well, it looks to me like Marcus Shilkunis' mechanic told him, right, you punch it because you're clear now. Keep going. Here's the start. Right, so they're side by side for the race lead. That's fine and clear. It's further down where it's all gone wrong, and there from that angle we can't really see much. And oh, right on the inside, Flusha on the inside of Hamza Al-Fayez, and that just forced a reaction from the rest. Drivers and debris going everywhere, and you can just see how many drivers just suffered from that one. Louis Hartmann, I think, was another one who luckily was starting a little further back, but didn't have much time to react to avoid that incident. Looked like he also took to the runoff, but he's still running in this race. Well, that first lap incident over, and the Marshal's done a brilliant job there of clearing the circuit and getting us under green racing conditions. It's not the start for some drivers that they will have wanted. Shilkunis then and Luna Flusha at the front of this field, and the gap now has come down to 1.1 seconds between the two of them. There's a look at their weekend results today. Flusha with pole in qualifying, first and second, but Shilkunis with that third, and that puts them through. The live positions, though, Shilkunis leads the way as they go forth in this moment, as here, Austin Gale battling away with Jean Carus. He's got himself through. Ghazi Motlaka here in fourth place. Can he come away with a podium here? He was geeing himself up this morning. He was geeing himself up yesterday. He was saying, I am going to get a podium. I'm going to, well, he said take a race win, but a podium would still be an incredible achievement in this final round, and I'm sure he'll still be delighted with this one. As down the inside, Big Sen for Sajeleski, but he's not going to hold out on it. Well, that's going to be an interesting one here. Now, is Jean Carus going to say, you held that one? Well, he's going to give it back now, and in fact, he's going to lose out on more of them as well. So keep a very close eye on that one, because drivers using all the track limits and a little bit more there out of the final corner. Again, another fastest lap for Luna Flusha. The gap is down to a second here. She's taken another 10th out of Shilkunis' lead. But we'll keep a close eye on that developing gap, because I suspect it's going to take another few laps until they will be right closed in on each other. Jean Carus then leads this next train. He is down in P8 right now. He's got the likes of the rest behind. But all the meanwhile, he's just had to, well, really focus on this one. He lost out on the racing yesterday. He had a really big one in the final where, unfortunately, he had a moment at turn number 2 as well, where he just went backwards in the order. Not the result for him at all. Eyes on this one here, though, as Sajeleski now down to 10th place. Charles Lambert down to 13th. So change happening. Let's have a look at some of the biggest movers in this one. Like we were saying, Sebastian Corpeng, he's up into P5. 13 places gained for Sebastian Corpeng. He actually sits right behind this fight here. That's Ghazi Motlaka going through in P4 at this moment. Another big mover. You've got Isaac Say with 9 places gained. He's into P11. We've also got Elizabeth Kozlova with 10 places gained as well into P16. So there's big movers throughout this field here as we keep an eye on these developing battles. The Shilkunis and Flusha battle is now down to less than a second. 0.8 of a second separate the top 2. And here's a look at Gazi Motlaka and what he's been doing out there. Whoa, that's again a big hit at the curve. You can see the tyre there just being manipulated over the chicane. You can see it wobbling over, so you can really see how low the pressures are of these tyres in this race. And all these drivers certainly pushing as hard as they can here, and a little bit more. Over the hill they go. That's Isaac Say and Sky Parker going wheel to wheel. Well, not anymore. Sky Parker's gone through the young lady from Wales in the United Kingdom. Stepping up now into 11th place. Is just outside the top 10, but she's still scrapping for it. And I think she's now lost that position. She's got the likes of Sophia Zamfari closing in behind as well. Daniel Kelleher under investigation. He won't be too happy with that one. Now, he's currently running down in 20th place. Now, not sure what that's for, if that was for maybe the incident at the start or if it was for something later on in that one, but there you can see his current stats. He's lost 14 places in this race after starting P6 down to P20, so he is not in a position here. Right, RRI is going to start focusing on this lead fight here, because Marcus Shilkunis, who went round the outside at turn 1 to claim the race lead at the very start of it, is now slowly being reeled in by Luna Flusha. Flusha, who was the final winner yesterday, is right there, closing in. Last time out over the line, she took another couple of tenths out of Shilkunis' lead here. And are we going to see a fight for the race lead, or is Shilkunis just keeping something in the bag here, ready to pounce from the rest? The only time we'll be able to judge that is when they next cross the start-finish line. So let's see what happens. Out of the final corner, across the line, the gap was 0.6 of a second. They cross now. It's down to 0.5 of a second. Flusha continues to close that gap and goes just fractionally faster. Well, Marcus Shilkunis' personal best lap on that last lap was actually slower than Luna Flusha's sub-optimal lap time. Her best time has been a 55.381. She did a 55.390 on that lap, so she's gone slower than her fastest lap, yet she's still closing in on Shilkunis. That just shows the pace that she's got, despite that one. Well, she uses all the track again, and a little bit more on the exit of that one, but again, they've always been told unless they've gained a lasting advantage by overtaking, if they don't give it back, they'll be in a spot of bother. So as far as the wording is concerned, that's all fine and clear. And Luna Flusha now continues to just reel in Marcus Shilkunis. I can imagine Shilkunis' mechanic is frantically waving at him to say, go, 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 keep pushing. And, well, on that cue, go, 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 keep pushing, is the Karas mechanics there. Of course, the two brothers are mechanicked by two brothers as well. Not of the same relation to the Karas brothers, but they are themselves their own brothers mechanicking for them. So it's two brothers battling with two brothers here. But they are pushing each other along there, and that'll be for Jean Karas, who's currently battling in P7. And he's got Mohamed Menemni, the winner from Dubai, just behind him here. This is the battle still for P4. Maximilian Rafalik, Gazi Motlaka, and Austin Gale. You got 3rd, 4th, and 5th place on your screen here. And oh dear, as I was praising her earlier on, Sky Parker now becomes the latest driver to come under investigation in this final. And usually when you get that, it's gonna go wrong. Down the inside, nice chop and change. Through goes Franciszek Zielinski, and well, Korpeng and Karas get through. Mohamed Menemni now going backwards just a little bit in this one as Luna Flusha sets another fastest lap of the race. That gap down is less than half a second between the two of them. Eyes on this here. Rafalik Motlaka and Austin Gale now stepping up into P5. Continuing to push through here. Again, different racing lines again this time for both Shilkunis and Flusha. Staying line astern at this point of the race, but that gap has steadily come down now. just those sector times coming thick and fast throughout the drivers. We don't know those sector times, of course. Only the one magnetic strip on the Alphasan circuit on the start-finish line. So we don't get those live updates here, which makes it just that little bit more exciting when they cross the line, because that's a new fastest lap of the race once again for Flusha. 55.288. He's got that gap down now to exactly 0.4 of a second, or just about. And there, confirmation of that fastest lap. Shilkunis will slowly start to hear that engine get closer and closer behind as this race looms on. We are on lap 13 of 17 right now. This could go right to the end. I mean, Shilkunis is clear now in the title fight. He's second. Hugo Heron, with that retirement right at the start, unfortunately has dropped into third, but he still comes away with a top 3 in the series standings. But this fight here is done and dusted. You've got second in first place in the standings. You've got first in second place in the standings. And for the last time this season, they are going to give us an almighty battle to the end, I'm sure. Yes, the standings is done, but who is going to stand on the top step of the podium for the final time this season in a race capacity? Will it be Marcus Shilkunis? Will it be Luna Flusha? Only time will tell. The gap holds at 0.4 of a second. Now Flusha's looking down at her engine there now. Was that a slight adjustment of the carburetor, if that's even possible in these cars? But she's trying to push herself along here right now. And she's trying to just get to the end here and find that position. But you can see the gap is now holding between the two of them. The last lap, Shilkunis actually fractionally faster than Luna Flusha. So as he just waited into these dying stages to go for it, Flusha looking down at the engine again. Is there a problem for Luna Flusha? Well, the gap's got down to its lowest now. It's down to 0.3 of a second. But she keeps looking down at that engine, which is bringing me to concern here. And, well, that doesn't look like a 0.3 gap anymore. That looks a little bit more now, from my view. Is Flusha just backing off here? She's still looking at a podium here in this final, but is she fading now and is just going to settle for P2? It would be a big shame if we didn't see that fight to the end. But for Marcus Shilkunis, I can imagine he's got a big sigh of relief knowing the fact that that gap might be getting bigger. Visually, from our view here, this looks more than a 0.3 lead, as there has been a retirement. Unfortunately, the 264 of Julian Pope is out of this race. Joins Isaac Say, Hugo Heron and Hamza Al-Fayez. The new gap, yes, is more. 0.2 of a second she lost on that last lap, did Luna Flusha. The gap is back up to 0.5 of a second. Across the line. There, the update on it. But right now, Marcus Shilkunis is just looking to take this one to the end. Shilkunis, who only has beaten Flusha once this year, was in Flusha's home country of Spain at the Valencia circuit, at the Lucas Carrero circuit, which, of course, in Valencia in recent months has just suffered some terrible flooding. And of course, the racetrack there, we wish them all their best, who brought us the second round of this series. But here we go now, on to the final lap of this race. It's a two-car race to the end here. There's the battle for third place. We've not said much about it. Austin Gale there battling away, but he's just lost out on that position. Maximum Rafalik has got his way back through into third place. Gazi Mollica is there as well in P5. He was up into third place. He was wanting to get that podium. Gazi Mollica needs to really dig deep on this final lap, and so does Luna Flusha. Will it be a huge lunge into that final corner? That is easier said than done. It's going to go to the end here. Shilkunis, though, is looking for his second final win of the season. He beat Flusha in Valencia. Can he beat Flusha in Alphasan in the United Arab Emirates? Into the final chicane. It's going to be Lithuania. It's going to be Marcus Shilkunis for the final race this season. He wins in Alphasan. What a brilliant drive from Marcus Shilkunis. He claims second in the standings as well. as that doesn't look like our usual flag marshal at the front. Again, we've been ambushed here at the Alpha Sand circuit as the F1 Academy grid descends on us here. But there, once again, Luna Flusha. It was confirmed yesterday, but again today, she is the series winner. She's done it for Spain. She dominated the season. She claimed a final win yesterday, her last one of the season. A P2 today in this final. She will stand on that podium. She will get to enjoy it twice in a final capacity and in a series capacity as well. There, the Driver Academy standings on your screen. Flusha confirmed yesterday, but Shilkunas, with that win, puts him P2 in the standings. Hugo Heron, he may have retired from that final because of that first lap incident, but he will still get to stand on the podium with that P3 in the standings. Philippe Karras from Maximilian Rafalik. Gazi Mollica gets up to 6th ahead of George Nassar. Jean Karras, Austin Gale, and František Strzeleski, they round out the top 10. So you can stand on that podium. There's a look at the full final results at the end of that one. The top 5 have already gone over with that one. Mohamed Menemni finishing in P6, then ahead of Jean Karras. František Strzeleski from Sebastian Korpeng. Adam Sador from Philippe Karras from Sofia Samfari. Charlotte Page, Charlotte Bear, Sky Parker as well, the top 15. Elizaveta Kozlova and the rest of the field as well. Pascal, Biggie, Kelleher, Massoy, Kapoor from Flixtorino, Hartman from Carouse,